Hi, I'm Nicola Brandt. I played Purple Gillian Brown in Doctor Who, and you're listening to MarkWHO 42.
Welcome to MarkWHO 42 here on Odyssey Radio, and I want to wish everybody a happy Mother's Day. Yes, this show is airing the day after Mother's Day. We've got a great show for you. It's Doctor Who involved. We're going to be talking about great mothers on Doctor Who. Let me introduce our co-hosts. First, we have Trish Fryer.
How's it going?
It's going great. Mother, you're not a mother yet, but could we ever hear that?
I have fur babies. Does that count?
Yeah, fur babies count.
Okay.
Fur babies count. All right. We also have Eduardo M. Fryer. I could ask the same question of him.
Yeah. What I just want to say is, to any mothers listening out there that are like the evil stepmom in Cinderella or Mother Gothel in Tangled. Yeah, I hope you didn't have a happy Mother's Day. You can go to hell.
Oh, that's so rude. That's so rude.
No. Sorry, hey, just because they have a day to themselves does not excuse them for being totally evil.
Okay. All right,
okay?
I buy that.
All right. If you want a day where you really get the respect of the children that you forsook and just treated badly, then you have to be better.
Okay.
Don't give me that, and don't give me that scowl in the shadows. All right. Come on, I've dealt with cranky 5-year-olds. Okay, bring it.
Wow, you're
bring
loud.
It on.
You're loud today.
Bring it on.
You are loud. You are on fire. And he loves Mother's Day. He's just that kind of guy.
Well, like I said, I don't want to excuse bad moms.
Well,
okay?
But you are from I'm not saying this out of order. You are from a Cuban family, and mothers are very important.
Yes.
I think in those families, because I used to live with a Cuban family, and the mothers were definitely treated special on Mother's Day.
This is true, but the mothers were
all the time.
But the mothers were usually very good people, so they weren't evil.
Yes, that's true. We also have Zion Quiros. Hey, Zion.
What's up, Mark? How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Zion, do you wish your mother a happy Mother's Day? Did you say hello to her yesterday and give her all the presents and all the fun stuff?
100%. And I wish all of the mothers out there a happy Mother's Day.
Yeah, that's what I do too. I think Mother's Day is a very important day. Not that it's the only day. You should always appreciate your mother. And that's important to realize. Okay, so why don't we go and do some Doctor Who news? And I've got 3 Doctor Who news stories that I thought we could do. The first one we actually posted on our Facebook page last week. It's a rumor, Doctor Who Christmas special for 2019. Now, after breaking tradition unfavorably last year, Doctor Who will return with a Christmas special this year, according to a press rumor. Now, BBC bosses are reportedly planning a Doctor Who Christmas special later this year. Although fans of the science fiction show have previously been told Jodie Whittaker's Time Lord would not be returning until 2020, after the New Year's Day episode took the place of the traditional festive spin last year, it now appears there could be a treat in store. The Daily Star newspaper reported that it is thought the BBC could go out with a special on Christmas Day 2019 after being disappointed that 5.5 million tuned in for the January one-off. However, a spokesman added to the publication that it is far too early to say what the schedules will be at this time of the year. So this is just pure speculation. But is this good news?
I think so. I really hope that they do one because they just need to redeem themselves, I guess. I mean, I thought the New Year's special was pretty good. I didn't realize that not that many people tuned into it.
Yeah, well, I mean, New Year's Day, Christmas Day, people have things to do too, but they were so used to watching Doctor Who on Christmas Day, it was part of the zeitgeist in England, and the ratings were down on New Year's Day, despite the Dalek,
Yeah, they probably just, threw them totally off of their normal schedule, because when you're that used to having a Doctor Who Christmas special, and then not getting it probably didn't even feel like Christmas.
No, it didn't. I don't think it felt like Christmas. And if there's a Christmas special, then our Weekend TARDIS clubs, Weekend TARDIS and Weekend TARDIS Reno, could actually have. Well, I mean, I know that Weekend TARDIS in Davie, Florida, our pub is open on Christmas Day. So if there's a Christmas episode, we can have our viewing party on Christmas Day, so that'll be cool. Nice. I don't know about you guys because you're at the library.
Yeah, we do at a library. I don't think so.
You're not open. You're not open. Zion, what do you have to think about this?
Well, I personally don't mind it being moved back. I just want to know why it was moved in the first place.
That's a good question.
Because we still haven't had no actual explanation to it yet, have we?
No.
Not really.
We never really did.
It was just a spur of the moment thing, and I wonder, why it was a one-time thing to just move it backwards. Like it might have been
Well, it wasn't supposed to be a one-time thing.
Viewing numbers, probably.
It wasn't supposed to be a one-time thing. They were going to do it again this year or next year and the following year. They were trying to make a new tradition. Chris Chibnall was probably trying to make his own mark on a holiday, and it just didn't work. But this is just a rumor, folks.
Well, but see, okay, if it's Chibnall trying to start something new and trying to maybe carve out a new holiday, I mean, okay, that's not a bad idea. But on the other hand, I don't know. Like it doesn't. The move just was a bit nonsensical. Like why New Year's Day? I mean,
they did do a New Year's special with David Tennant, but it was second part of a two-parter.
Yeah, it was
right. Yeah, exactly.
They had Christmas. They had Christmas and New Year's.
Well, they should do that again. Do too.
There you go.
I'll take that.
Well, okay. Like I know the incentive for the New Year's special was, holy crap, the Daleks are back. Okay, but also the thing with David Tennant, David Tennant's swan song is there's that added incentive. Oh, how's the cliffhanger going to be solved? Oh, it's David Tennant's farewell. There's a bit more there. Not that having the Daleks come back after a little bit of a break isn't cool. It's just you kind of need a little bit something more.
Would they have gotten more viewers, you think, if they had chosen another monster, like maybe something else that hasn't been seen in a long time?
Well, remember, they weren't even acknowledging that a Dalek was coming back. It was just rumors of it. They were, they were kind of making it sound like nothing, that there were no recurring characters coming back.
Yeah.
They were trying to trick us.
Asking you guys, that are very knowledgeable about the classic, is there a monster from the past that you would have been like, holy crap, if you had, if that had come back?
Well, there would have, heck, I mean, I was going holy crap when it was announced that it was going to be the Daleks. It's just, or in this case, a Dalek. Yeah.
Shaw. I was just happy it wasn't Tim Shaw.
Yeah, same.
Because
he's been sent to his room or pod or however you want to tell it. But yeah, I just, for me, just having the just having confirmation of the rumor was cool. I don't even think it was a case of the monster. I think it was just a case of just not really doing a good job selling the special.
All right.
I mean, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah, they didn't sell it well. All right. Next news story. The Brigadier and Liz Shaw reunite with the Third Doctor. Now, of course, with Big Finish, they have the Third Doctor adventures with Trim Chalor and Katie Manning reprising. Tim Treloar plays the Third Doctor, does a great job. Sounds like John Pertwee does a great job bringing the essence of John Pertwee into it. And Katie Manning as Joe Grant is always good. And last week, they released Volume 5. And Volume 5 is actually a very special release because instead of just bringing back Tim Treloar as a new character, playing John Pertwee, they decided, a la the David Bradley First Doctor adventures that they're doing, to bring some other characters into it. So in this set, they brought Brigadier Lethbridge Stewart, Liz Shaw, and Sergeant Benton into these stories. Now, Sergeant Benton, of course, John Levine, is alive. He was in it himself. But the two characters that are really cool, Brigadier Alistair Gordon Lethbridge Stewart is played by actor and impressionist John Colshaw. Now, you guys know John Colshaw from Dead Ringers doing the Tom Baker thing. It's kind of like Crank Yakers in the UK, but it's like impersonations where they trick people, and he used to like go on trains dressed as the Fourth Doctor, doing a perfect Tom Baker voice, asking, do you know where the TARDIS is? I can't find it. And
I think that rings a bell. I think I know what you're talking about.
So
Yeah,
go ahead.
Yeah, I think I have seen his impressions before, but I don't think I've ever actually sat and watched a whole thing of it. But
yeah,
it sounds familiar.
Okay, so John Colshaw, after listening to John's rendition of the Third Doctor in the BBC audio book of the Five Doctors, Nicholas Briggs just gave him the job. He thought the casting, because Colshaw was reading the Target book and had to do all the voices, and he did a damn good Brigadier. So Nicholas Briggs hired him on the spot to be Nicholas Courtney's replacement. And he thought it was great. Now, Liz Shaw, interesting casting piece, is played by Daisy Ashford. Do you know who that is?
The name sounds familiar.
Daisy Ashford is the daughter of the original Liz Shaw actor, the late Carolyn John.
Oh.
Daisy said on being offered the role, "I'm really excited and honored to have been asked to play Liz and to step into my mom's brilliant shoes." So, I mean, this is an exciting two-story. Well, I don't know how many parts there are, but there are two stories, probably six-parters, and a behind the scenes just came out. You can get it on Big Finish this month for either $20 or $25 if you're in America, 20, 25 pounds if you're in England, and prices go up at the end of May. But I've already ordered mine. I have to download it. I haven't listened to it, but when I do listen to it, I am excited about this. I really am. What do you think about recasting of Doctor Who characters who are no longer with us?
Honestly, I don't mind. To be honest, the show goes on, the story goes on, and these characters still live within it. And speaking upon that, I want to know if they're going to eventually bring in someone to voice Sarah Jane.
Well, okay, you know what? They're I've heard things like they're taking their time on that one, but eventually I bet they probably will. But they're taking their time because there are so many people who love Liz Sladen and right now probably would not take a replacement.
Well, I gotta I gotta say that finding someone to do the Brigadier, like that in and of itself takes takes some cojones. Because,
oh yeah, they weren't sure they could do it. I mean, this is the 5th volume. They've been, the Brigadier has been off camera, or he's been, away, and so he hasn't been there. And they, they just like, time is, we're ready for it. And from what I've heard in the Five Doctors audiobook, I am excited to listen to this. And it just came out last Wednesday. So, wow. So I can't wait to hear it.
Yeah. Well, I actually, the Third Doctor crew was actually at this last Gallifrey one, and I did get to hear Tim do a little bit of the Third Doctor. And,
what'd you think?
You know what? From the little I saw, I'm like, hey, I'm willing to give it a shot. When I find some of the Third Doctor audios, and give it a spin. Of course, for me, I'm still holding out the hope that the show itself, the TV show itself, that they can get Sean Pertwee to put on his or worst case, call Gatiss
now that he's done
say,
with Gotham, he's available.
Or or worst case, see if Mark Gatiss is busy and go, hey, you've done a pretty good job dressing up as 3. Do you want to give it do you want to actually team up with Jodie?
Yeah, that would be cool. So, okay, so the last. Actually, Trish, what do you think?
Oh, I think it's cool. As long as all these people are around, let's keep on using them. And if we have to recast them with people, I mean, as long as they sound good, I have no problem.
Okay. The last story we have is about the Paul Spragg Memorial Short Trips Opportunity. It's also a Big Finish story. It's to commemorate our Big Finish's much missed colleague, Paul Spragg. The Paul Spragg Memorial Short Trips Opportunity is open for a 4th year. Now, last Wednesday, 8th of May, is always Big Finish's saddest day. 5 years ago that day, Big Finish received the terrible news that Paul Spragg, the cheerful, much-loved person at the heart of the Big Finish production office, had died suddenly. It was one of the worst days of my life, remembers executive producer Nicholas Briggs. And in so many ways, I believe I am still in shock at the loss. He was always full of such happiness and positivity. Now, the tide of condolence emails Big Finish received in the numb days after Paul's death showed how treasured he was by friends and listeners alike, and continues to be. Nicholas also wrote, Paul often kept in touch with writers who'd email in, and a few years ago, Ian Atkins came up with an idea that would be an excellent way to remember him and would give these very people a chance to work with Big Finish. It's a great way of celebrating the memory of Paul and encouraging new talent. And so the Paul Spragg Memorial Short Trips Opportunity was created, giving new writers a chance to submit a story idea for a Doctor Who short trips adventure. So this is actually something, Ed, you should think about. The first winning story selected over 1,000 submissions 3 years ago was called Forever Fallen. It was by Joshua Wanisco. The finished production, narrated by Nick, can be listened to at Big Finish as a free download. The next 2 years, there was Landbound by Selim Ulug and The Last Day at Work by Harry Draper. These are also excellent starting points to understand what kind of adventures they're looking for. So now in their 4th year, open again from today until the end of June. And actually, we're going to have a guest on next month, who actually tried to win this contest, didn't win the contest, but actually got hired for Subscribers Special, so was actually going to have a story come out in the next 2 months, and we're going to have him on. So it's open. There's a full list of terms and conditions which can be found at bigfinish.com and should be read by anyone planning on sending a news story submission to them over the next coming weeks. Now, there are some guidelines. All entries must be submitted electronically, either as Word-compatible documents or PDF, and sent to competitions@bigfinish.com. Entries consist of 2 parts, a synopsis and an opening excerpt of the story. The synopsis must be a single page. This tends to be about 500 words. The opening excerpt from the story should again be a single page, about another 500 words. This is to give the flavor of the writer's ability and intentions, which can change if the story is commissioned. Now, both pages should be marked with the writer's name and a contact email address. Do not include any details of your background or previous writing experience. The submission should speak for itself. The story may be set within any period of Doctor Who, defined as running from the first Doctor up to the 12th Doctor before Twice Upon a Time. Please note, this does not include the War Doctor, who cannot be used in this opportunity due to contractual obligations. No established monsters can be used, nor established Doctor Who characters, including those from worlds of Doctor Who like Unit, Jago, and Lightfoot, Countermeasures. Any TV companions from the new series can also not be used, but classic series companions and companions created by Big Finish like Charlotte Pollard, Hex, Evelyn Smythe, they can be used. Do not create a new companion for the Doctor in your story. The story should not have been published anywhere else before. The winner will be informed by the end of July and will be officially contracted to deliver a 5,000-word short trip story. And then you'll have to meet your deadlines, which should be early in the autumn of 2019. The BBC have the right to approve or veto the content of a selected story. Should there be unforeseen issues with the work, the writer will be invited to submit a new idea. There can be no correspondence entered into, and the judge's final decision is final. Entries is only open to people who have never written for Big Finish. You can only send one submission. You send a multiple entry, you're disqualified. And if you've never heard of a Doctor Who short trip before, it's recommended that you give one a listen to get a sense of how they sound. And the 3 that I mentioned before are free on the site, so you can listen to them for free. So submissions should be sent to competitions@bigfinish.com, formatted by these guidelines before 11:59 GMT on June 30th, 2019. Wow, that's a lot, and we don't really have a lot of time to talk about this, but Ed, do you think you want to try to do this?
You know what? It's going to be a challenge because, although the fact that I have access to the classic Doctors and their companions, that's pretty good.
But they want you to come up with something original, and that's why they don't want you to use the villains and the monsters from the past.
That's fine. That's fine. I mean, who says I can't? I don't have anything in my noggin to use. I mean, I think I can come up with something. If I really.
I think you can too. I think you, Ed, should sign up for this contest, and we will have guests on our show. And I can't wait to have him. Max Curtis. We'll have them on. All right. And just a reminder, on the weekends, I appear on Doctor Who audio files on Odyssey Radio, where we review Big Finish and other Doctor Who audios. So listen to us. Check odyssey1.com for our listings. So we'll be back with Mother's Day on Doctor Who here on MarkWHO 42 here on Odyssey Radio.
Don't go away. Don't go away. We'll be back with more Mark Who 42 after this.
I'm Jessica Martin, Mags from The Greatest Show in the Galaxy on classic Doctor Who, Odyssey, Dare to Wonder.
You're now listening to Mark Who 42 from the Whoniverse and beyond.
Hi, this is Norman Lovett, who played Holly in the sci-fi sitcom Red Dwarf. And
this is Danny John Jules. I'm the cat from Red Dwarf and Dwayne from Death in Paradise. And you are listening to Mark Who 42.
Welcome back to more of Mark Who 42 here on Odyssey Radio. Yes, we took a break and now we're back. And, it's Mother's Day yesterday and, it's a big deal. Mothers are a big deal. They are. They gave birth to us. If we didn't have mothers, where would we be? There'd be no Doctor Who without mothers. There'd be no nothing without mothers. Isn't that true, Patricia?
Yes, it's true.
Ed?
Yeah.
And Zion?
120%.
Cool. All right. So we are here to talk today about Mother's Day on Doctor Who. Now, in classic Doctor Who, there wasn't a lot of Mother's Day hoo-ha because it was a show about the Doctor, a companion, and the story. But when Russell T. Davies brought it back in 2005, he took the Buffy stance and made it more of a soap opera where things happen, where you have a family unit where stories develop. And when stories develop, you have, like I said, you have families and you have mothers. What did you think about that change in Doctor Who? Would old Doctor Who have worked in 2005?
No. Is it okay? I can somewhat chime into this because I've just shown someone Doctor Who for the first time, and I decided to do it with Classic Who and then move on to New Who and see what they thought about it. So I started them off with the best 4-episode story that I could think of for a beginner, which is City of Death.
City of Death, great story.
Oh,
great
yeah.
story. Yeah.
And so then the next episode I showed them was the girl in the fireplace. And they said that the story for City of Death was overall better, but due to the pacing and the length of New Who and just how it's structured makes it more watchable for them. And I feel like that translates to how everyone pretty much feels about Doctor Who now. Like, I don't see a four episode series, a 4-episode story being dragged on in these days, even though the story would help it.
Yeah, I mean, Ed, when we watched Doctor Who when we were younger, we were geeks, and now it's mainstream, basically.
Yeah, I would say, okay, to jump on what Zion said, I think actually that really, I do think, though, that we could have Classic Who, that I do think it could work today, but the serialized, you would have to, I mean, shows like Game of Thrones, Walking Dead, things like that, they have shown that people will go for a serialized format. Mm-hmm. So, it is possible. I think that where the difference lies is you got to be a little tighter, as far as content. Like, you can't, you got to make sure that you don't have too much filler, that you don't just stretch things out. That I think is where, that's where, Classic Who, I love Classic Who, I love City of Death, I love this stuff, but there are times where it's like, well, it could be better, but, we could actually have much better pacing.
Yes.
And now we do. We do. And I think that's in part to having stories that have stories that engender the family unit, because I don't even really know how to. Yeah, I don't even know how to explain that. The family unit to me makes it work. John Pertwee's era worked for me so well because you had the unit family. And so in a way that, the Brigadier was the father. So you could have a Father's Day with the Brigadier. But, Mother's Day seems to be a big part of Doctor Who. In fact, there was a 2-part story in Eccleston's first season having to do with Mother's Day.
And actually, it's funny you should bring that up, because if we take a look at all the matriarchal figures that have been in New Who, I would have to say that. I would have to say that. I'm sorry. What?
Wasn't that Father's Day?
No, I know what he's getting at, Zion.
Are you my mommy?
Okay.
Yeah, that's what he was talking about. I think actually that the 2-parter, that character right there, she for me is like the top, like if you're gonna put an award for best mommy in New Who, I'd say her.
Yeah.
I think she is the best one. And just come on. I mean, who didn't watch that moment where, she hugs her son and, the nanogenes get the picture and, the everybody lives moment.
Everybody lives. That was hard. That was so emotional, because in Doctor Who, it never has everybody lives. That was the first time in Doctor Who that everybody lived.
Well, not to mention the fact that the linchpin of this, the thing that really made it happen is her.
Yeah.
The fact that she finally was like, no, you're not my little brother. You're my son. I love you, brother. Mommy loves you.
And her son. Yeah.
Exactly. Nancy, you would have never had Everybody Lives without her.
No, she had to realize that being a mother was important. And yes, she was a young mother, and she didn't want to accept that she had a child, but she finally accepted it, and it helped. It made the end of the story.
It saved the world.
Saved the world. Yeah, saved the world. Even Captain Jack couldn't have saved the world on that one by himself.
Nope.
All right, and speaking of other favorite mothers, let's go to Ed. Okay, I gave Nancy, but can you come up with another favorite mom from?
Okay, even though I was the one who.
I kind of brought it up, and you.
Okay, all right. I think. I'm gonna give. I have to give Jackie Tyler a shout out.
Camille Kaduri, yes.
Yep. First off, I mean, the character was some fun comic relief when she first showed up. Now, mind you, okay, I think when she made a return appearance after Rose came back, she was a little annoying, but she stepped up.
Yeah.
She stepped up, and what I like is that when she came back, especially when we're talking about the end of season 4, that when she came back, that it's like she was actually kind of that she kind of proved she proved why she's sticking around. It wasn't just, well, Jackie's back, okay, time for awkward some awkward nonsense here. It was, oh hey, let's she was actually there fighting alongside.
Was she a bad mother in the alternate dimension, in the alternate universe?
Yes. Yep.
Well, wait a minute, because Rose the dog, she loved the dog, and she didn't have a child, so the dog was in essence her child.
Okay, but
well that in a way she was a good mother to.
Okay, all right, we're pushing it, but okay, I see your point. I will. Saying. Okay, I will say this though. That moment where Pete Tyler and Rose find Cyberman Jackie Tyler is just holy cow. That's like, if you want like a powerful moment that just gets to you, that one right there. But in essence, as a person, I mean, okay, yeah, she treated the dog really well, but honestly, I think I would take Earth 1 Jackie over Pete's World Jackie.
Oh, definitely. So, Ed, what about a not so favorite mom? Who's your not so favorite mom on the show?
Oh dear. Okay. All right. All right.
And please, actors and actresses from Doctor Who, do not take offense to anything that we are going to be saying in the next few minutes.
Yeah, no, this does not reflect the actors. You know what? I would have to say for worst moms, I would have to give it a tie.
Okay.
It would have to be a tie. Mind you, they were not horrible all the way through, but I'm going based off when they showed up, how much I did an eye roll going, okay, wow, I'm out, Martha's mom and
Francine Jones.
Francine, and
played by Angela Ando.
Yep.
Who also played one of the cat people, by the way.
Okay, and Sylvia Noble.
Jacqueline King.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sorry. Those two, I'm just like, yeah, I can't.
Yeah,
the thing is that, okay, yes, at the end of it, like I said, towards the end, they kind of made good, but it just feels like their contributions to the story were just, okay, we're basically goofy. They were just basically there to be a nuisance and a pain, and it's like, oh no, the mom's here. Okay, watch them stick their nose in. Watch the heroes try to get things done while the mom is like hovering over, and I'm just like,
okay, let me say something. Let me say something. I have to give Francine Jones the benefit of the doubt because she was influenced by the Saxon campaign. She might have been a mother. The Saxons were the ones who were telling her the doctor is bad, the doctor is this. But Noble always put down Donna until the end.
Yeah.
And so Francine, I kind of give a little leeway to, because maybe she wouldn't have been bad had the Saxon thing not been involved.
Okay, I mean, I get that, but also at the same time, I just like things. I get very. I don't like stories that are based off, based off stupidity of the masses. This whole thing where it's like, oh, because this powerful figure says so, you're just going to get the benefit of the doubt, be this ignorant, hateful person, and then like that for me, it's like you do have a point, but at the same time, I'm just like No,
I was just saying I give her the benefit a little.
Yeah.
I still think she was a horrible mom. Of the three main moms, of Jackie was the best.
Definitely.
Of those three, Jackie was the best of those three. And even Jackie, like we said, had some problems along the way.
Yeah, but she
did love her.
Yeah,
but she did love her daughter.
Oh yeah,
She
definitely.
loved Rose. When Rose was missing for 11 months, she was really worried and totally in the right, having Mickey down in the police station saying, I didn't kidnap her, I didn't kill her, and she was really worried.
Yeah.
Trish, what about you?
Oh, best mothers?
Yeah.
See, Sarah Jane Smith.
Well,
yes.
Okay. I will allow that.
She adopted Luke. She's a mother.
That is new series. Luke and Sky were her adopted children, so I will give you that.
And I'm going to go with Amy Pond.
Okay. That was the funny thing because I was going to save Amy Pond for last. But yes, I think Amy Pond was the best mother because we wouldn't have got River's song. Melody Pond, River's song, Amy Pond is, and Rory are all, it's all down to them. And of course, Eye Patch Lady.
Oy.
But Trish, really, why Amy Pond for you?
Well, she did, do as best as she could for her daughter. She wanted her, and it's not her fault that circumstances that were created. She didn't get to be as much of a mother to her as she wanted.
Right.
But she was there when it counted.
Now, in the big finishes, River Song has basically been seen and interacted with every doctor that exists, even though it's before the marriage and she can't really let him know who she is. But do you think that even though Matt Smith's doctor couldn't go back in time to New York, that maybe River and her vortex manipulator, she could have visited Rory and Amy during the wilderness years of their lives without the doctor?
I'm sure she did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Although I kind of wonder if they have like some sort of thing around it where even she can't visit since she was there for what happened.
When she just goes to New Jersey and takes the subway.
Exactly. I see that. And Return of Dr. Mysterio. Peter Capaldi is working on a machine on top of a building in New York City that was going to fix the timeline so he could have visited Amy and Rory. If you read between the lines in that story, that's what machine he was putting together with the crystal.
Mm.
So I think there are stories still to be told about Amy Pond.
Yes.
Well, hopefully she doesn't get too big in Hollywood that she can't come back.
Well, yeah.
That's unlikely.
Yeah. Well, but she could still come back. I mean, Michelle Gomez, Missy, she's, doing some big finishes and stuff, but she's big now on Sabrina. I mean, have you seen this Sabrina show that she's on?
We've seen the first few episodes of the first season. We haven't watched all of it yet. But
this show is supposed to be a smash, and she is now a Hollywood. Well, it's in Vancouver, but a Hollywood actress. And so, when does she have time to go back? Well, she does. She records, during her downtime. And why can't Karen Gillan record some big finishes?
Well, they can't afford her anymore.
Well,
see, that's the thing. Okay, yeah, okay.
If she loved the part, she could take a pay cut to do something she loved.
I'm sure she will eventually. Yeah. But right now, she's in the biggest movie ever.
Yeah, we'll be discussing that next week, folks. We're going to have a big next week's show is all about Avengers Endgame. We've decided, spoilers be gone. We're going to go for it next week.
And the Russo brothers even said,
the ban on spoilers is lifted.
Yep. They lifted it.
Is lifted. Yeah, so we're gonna totally do that. Zion.
They lifted it a week ago. Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
wait, do you want to hear my worst mother?
Yeah. Oh, yes, I do.
Oh, please,
yes,
yeah.
Trish,
Yeah.
please, please, Trish.
All right, my worst mothers would definitely be Mother of Mine.
Ooh.
Oh God.
Thank God he tipped her into a port. Is that Horizon?
That's good.
Yeah, no. I mean, I don't even have to explain.
Well,
we all
actually,
know.
if you think about it, hold on. If that's one of your bad moms, in that same story, there's actually a good mom in a dream sequence.
That's true.
Okay,
because
yeah, no,
David
that
Tennant's
is,
doctor gets married and has 2 kids, and so he's, there's a good mom there. I just thought I'd add that. But yeah, okay, so and then your second bad mom?
What's her name? The vampire episode, Vampires of Venice.
Yes.
The main.
The one who was the mother of all the fish creatures.
The fish they ate her. All her kids ate her at the end.
Yeah.
So I mean.
But that shows love. To eat your mom. That shows love.
Although actually, it could be argued she was a good mom because everything that she was doing was for her kids.
Yeah.
I mean, they didn't eat her.
Exactly.
They didn't eat her because she was abusing them or anything.
No, she was a very good mom to her children.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't her fault the Time War displaced them.
Although, hold on, because since she was being a surrogate mom to those girls, it could also be argued in that way she was a bad mom.
She was a bad adoptive mom. She was a bad stepmother. She was a good fraternal and mother. Okay, let's get out of this right now. let's go to Zion, because Zion is sitting here going, I'm not going to have to answer this because we're going to run out of time. Zion, we have 7 minutes left of our show, so you can keep going.
All right, so my favorite mother is a mother, but also a grandmother. It is Grace from the last series.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah. Okay. I like Grace as a character, but the thing that I really, really like about her is what she stood as, and the thing that she stood as is her death. And her death brought something to the show that I've always had a problem with the show in general, particularly with my favorite era, the Fifth Doctor era, because you have
Auntie Vanessa.
You have Auntie Vanessa, and you have Trocken and what's her? Nissa's father dies, right?
Tremas, yeah.
And they all just barely talk about it,
and Adric's parents were dead too. Adric's parents were dead too because he only had a brother.
That's too.
And he dies.
Yeah, so you have these close deaths, and they pretty much brush it off the next story. But Grace dies, and she's a literal figure, literally almost having her own episode again to herself.
Yeah, she was important to the entire season. The entire series 11, she was great in the mind because the 2 male characters were the grandson and the husband. They were trying to come to terms with each other, and it was all because of Grace.
Yeah, and it's not only that. Is that she was a constant topic, and one companion's whole point of being with the Doctor was not dealing with the grief of a said person departing, and I feel like that brought an element of that normal people matter in this universe, and these normal people matter to the people that the Doctor travel with, and I feel like that was something that was really missing in the show. And yeah, that's pretty much why I liked her. That and also because of the It Takes You Away episode. I feel like the actress in general just nailed that part greatly, and just added to the character a whole bunch.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. You said you had 2.
No, I had 1.
Oh, you had 1.
Okay.
So who's your worst mother?
Okay, I have
new
2 worst
series.
mothers.
Okay,
now
you have 2. Now he has 2. I'm confused. I don't know.
Okay, now since it's only the new series, then I only have 1 because the other one is classic. But
what was your classic? What was your classic?
The Great One.
Okay, but let's go to the new series though.
and that kind of gives away my new Who one. Queen of the Bracknos.
Yeah.
I freaking hate spiders. I really
She
do
was
not
not
like
a.
spiders.
Oh, you don't like spiders?
I don't
Yeah.
either.
When the dog
not a fan.
those eggs, I cheered. I was like, "This is my favorite character from now on." He understands the evil in the universe.
Well, going back to Classic Who, I like the Metabilis 3 storyline. I like Metabilis 3. But yeah, the Arachnos in the new series, yeah, I can see how the queen would be not a great mother. But at the same time, she was fulfilling, like the vampire of Venice, she was feeding her children. She was taking care of her children. She was actually being a good mother. Yes. Maybe you don't like her as a character, but she was being a good mother too.
Fair enough. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, you could. Mothers are important. Mothers are important, and mothers can be seemingly good or seemingly bad. The way you look at it, the way you just how you feel. And I think mothers are very important, and fathers too. And that's why if we'll do a father. Well, should we do a Father's Day show? Yeah, we'll do a Father's Day show too. So I'm not going to even go into that now, but we'll do a Father's Day show. That's a good idea about new series. But I am going to bring up the Brigadier again because he was a father figure to the unit, and and none of the other generals or colonels were father figures in unit. Only the Brigadier.
Well, not that we know of. I mean, I don't know. Maybe Colonel Crichton had a kid.
Oh yeah, but I'm not talking about kid. I'm talking about the unit and the team.
Oh, okay.
Only the Brigadier really had a team. I mean, yes, every head of unit has a team, but we only got to see the Brigadier's team. So that's why I think of him as
all right.
I
get it.
All right. So I'd like to say Happy Mother's Day once again. Like to thank Patricia Fryer, Eduardo M. Fryer, Zion Quiros, and myself, Mark Baumgarten. Thank us for doing MarkWHO 42 for you, the listener out there, on Odyssey Radio. We had a great time doing it, didn't we, guys?
Yeah, so yeah.
Yep.
And we can't wait till next week for the Avengers Endgame review.
That's going to be epic.
Oh, it's going to be epic. And we're going to let Ed take over that one, so he's going to have a ball with that. So until next time, guys, but I'll be there because I have opinions too. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
MarkWHO 42 has been written and presented by Mark Baumgarten, Trish Fryer, Eduardo M. Fryer, Iggy Matthews, and Zion Quiros. MarkWHO 42 has been edited, directed, and produced by Mark Baumgarten. The theme music is by Sam Beckwith. MarkWHO 42 is owned and copyrighted by Mark Baumgarten 2019. This is Odyssey Radio.